Hello and welcome back to class. So it's time for us to dye our projects from the previous classes. So first of all, you get to soak the project in water. Remember, water allows it to absorb the dye. So you put them in and then you get to put them into the bucket, the dye bath, so it absorbs the color properly, okay? And this should be left for 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes. You understand? 10 minutes is fine, but I prefer 30 minutes. So at this point, you get to untie. After 30 minutes, you get to untie them. And yes. So this open now is the chevron, remember, and this one currently, this is the spider. Remember the spider that we folded into two? Now this is the spiral, the one we pinched in the middle and then we did turn. So I first of all dyed them green, and now I want to apply a second color to them. So I'm retwisting the spider and the spiral, you understand, so that I can, and remember they are wet, they have to be wet for you to dye. That enables the dye to be absorbed into the, not absorb, but it enables the dye to penetrate, to flow easily. So yeah, so I want to dye them with color yellow now. So that's on the basket, is the knotted design. So I'm applying my color yellow onto the spiral and the spider folds, and then I'll also apply it to the knotted design. I'll be applying it to the knotted parts alone, and I'm applying only yellow. You can decide to apply more colors. Now even the spider and spiral, even after applying yellow, you can still open them, rinse them, and refold them and apply another color. You understand? So you can be creative. So applying the yellow dye to the knotted parts, the parts I did not apply to, you can decide to apply another color. Okay, so now that's our triangle fold and our accordion. Remember, we have two accordions, the one we folded, like, you know, the where you fold your gifts wrap, and then the other one you fold from the side. You fold the material into four, and then you plait it from the sides. So I'm applying my yellow dye to the areas. So the triangle fold, I first of all applied green dye to some parts, and then the parts I did not apply green dye to, I'm applying my yellow dye. So you can just play around. Do not follow, there's no hard or fast rule to tie and dye. Tie and dye basically is a creative, endeavor. So play with your colors, play with how you tie your fabrics, play with how you dye the fabrics. So do not say, okay, because someone did green and yellow this way, you want to do the same thing. Go ahead, try different colors. It may be green and pink, it may be green and even purple. Go crazy. So now you can see how the yellow is coming out on the spiral and the spider. Okay, so yes, so the place that have folds, do endeavor to put the dye, make sure it seeps into the folded area. If not, you have a lot of white coming through. So as much as the color you want to show, that is as much as color you put onto the fabric. You understand? I don't know if you understand that, right? So now I'm going to leave them to sit for 30 minutes at least, and then we go on to washing them, rinsing them out. So yeah, this is me. I threw them all into a bucket of water, and I'm washing out the dye. If they were 5 yards, of course, I'll be needing more water. So yes, that's the spider, and then I'm opening. Now, if you notice, this is the spider and spiral. If you notice, there's a brown tint to the material. Do not worry, it's not going to come out as brown. You can see even as I washed it one time, most of the brown went out. Yes. So by the time you rinse it a second time, it will give you your true colors. Okay, so even though you have the brown, and when we did not use brown color, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that this is the color. This is going to be the end result. The end result will always be the colors that you put onto the fabric. Okay, so do not be worried about the strange color you see while you're doing your first rinse off or rinse out. So yes, so you go ahead, you open them up, you rinse them. This one is the accordion. Remember the accordion we folded into four, and then we pleated from the corner. Yes, that's it. So you go ahead, you take your time, you rinse them, and after rinsing the first time, you rinse the second time. After rinsing the second time, if the colors are still on it, you rinse again the third time. There is no amount of time to rinse. You just rinse until you're sure that the water you're using to rinse is not bringing out colors anymore. then you know you are good to go. Then you know you've done your rinse job properly. Okay, so now I'm opening. This is the knotted design. Remember the one we just picked up the fabric and tied it, picked up the fabric and tied. Remember I dyed it only yellow, one color. So if I've dyed it two colors, maybe you'd have been yellow and green. So now we're just having yellow and white. So play around, you know. Now this is the triangle, and ignore the brown colors you're seeing. By the time we rinse it again, it's going to give us the true colors we use, which is yellow and green. So now time for the review. So this is the accordion that we did from the corner, that we folded the material into 4. Remember, we folded the material into 4. Then we started to pleat from this corner, front, back, right? So this is the design it gave to us. So this is the accordion folded. This is the knotted one. Remember the one we knotted, and we fold like this and we knotted. Fold like this, we knotted. Fold like this, we knotted. Yes. So this is the knotted fabric. This is the final design after washing. Yep. And then this one is the one of the knotting design. Remember the one that we did like this and we tied. Do you remember that? So this is one of the knotting design. It's also called bullseye in some circles. Okay. Then this one is the spiral. This is our spiral. So imagine the beauty you will get if it was 5 yards or 1 yard or whatever. And these designs is the same designs you apply to your shirt too. That your tie and dye shirt is the same design. You just pick. Then this is the accordion. Remember the one we folded like this and then folded like this, and then we started doing front and back, front and back, front and back. Yes. So this is it. This is the other type of accordion. Beautiful. I love it. And finally, this is our triangle. Remember, I've already showed you the chevron. Yeah, so the chevron is not here because I didn't dye that yellow. So this is our triangle. This is the most popular design that is used in Adire. After they are done dyeing this, you now see, you now start stamping, you know, putting their stamps, their design stamps on this. So I'll be using these fabrics to do one of it, maybe 2 of it, to do our stamping design, our batik design. So you get to see. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the class and you loved the outcome. Thank you. See you in the next class.